I'm 78 years old, and I need to tell you something that nobody told me when I was your age. For most of my life, I thought being a good woman meant saying yes to everyone in my life. My husband, my children, my parents, my friends, my boss. I thought that's what love looked like. I thought that's what strength looked like. I was wrong about everything in my entire life. You see, I spent 6 years of my life trying to be perfect for everyone except myself. The perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect daughter, the perfect employee every single day. And you know what I got for it? Exhaustion, resentment, and a life that didn't feel like mine. But 7 years ago, something happened that changed everything in a way I never expected. My husband died. After 42 years of marriage, he was gone from my life forever. And for the first time in my adult life, I was alone, completely alone and deeply terrified. Not because I missed him, though I did, but because I realized I had no idea who I was without him. I had spent my entire life being someone's something, someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's helper. But who was I? What did I actually want? What made me happy? I couldn't answer those questions at all. And that scared me more than anything. I had spent my whole life living for everyone except myself. Let me take you back. When I was 22, I got married. It was 1968 then. Different times, you understand. Women didn't have the choices you have today, or so we believed. My mother told me, a good husband is all you need. Everything else in life will follow. And so I married him, a nice man, a good provider, and I became what everyone called a good wife. I cooked, I cleaned, I raised the children. I supported his career without ever questioning mine. I smiled when I was supposed to smile. I stayed quiet when I was supposed to stay quiet. And the thing is, I wasn't unhappy. Not exactly. I loved my children and enjoyed parts of my life. But there was always this voice in the back of my head asking, is this it? Is this all there is? I ignored that voice for 40 years, even though it kept returning quietly again and again. When I was 35, I wanted to go back to school. I'd always loved literature and learning. I dreamed of teaching, but my husband said we couldn't afford it. The children needed me. Maybe later, he said. So I waited. When the kids were grown, I brought it up again. But then he was thinking about retirement. We'd need to help with his parents, maybe later. So I waited again. When I was 55, his parents had passed. I thought now it was my turn. But our daughter got divorced. She needed help with the grandchildren. How could I think of myself? So I waited again. And then at 71, he died. And there was nobody left to wait for. Here's what nobody tells you about being a woman, especially a woman of my generation in those years. We were taught that self-sacrifice was noble and that putting everyone else first made us good. That our worth came from how much we gave, not from who we were or what we wanted for ourselves. And it's a lie. A beautiful, terrible lie that slowly erased parts of me I never got back. Because here's the truth I learned too late. You can't pour from an empty cup for very long. You can't love others fully when you don't love yourself and keep giving everything away. I gave and gave and gave, and when my husband died, I looked in the mirror and felt lost. I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me. She looked tired, old, sad, and unfamiliar. The first year after he died, I was lost. I'd wake up with nothing to do or anyone to serve. For 6 years, my identity had been wrapped up in other people, and suddenly they were gone. But then something happened. About 8 months later, I found a letter he'd written before we married. In it, he talked about my intelligence, my curiosity, and how he couldn't wait to see what I'd do. I sat on the floor holding that letter and cried because the girl he loved was someone I'd buried. Not all at once, but slowly over the years, I had put her dreams aside and called it being selfless. But really, I was disappearing. And that's when I made a decision at 72 years old. I decided it wasn't too late. I enrolled in community college and studied things I'd always loved: literature, art history, philosophy. I was the oldest in my classes, but I didn't care anymore. For the first time in decades, I felt alive. I started traveling to places I dreamed of seeing. I also started saying no. It was hard at first, but the world didn't end, and people adjusted. I'm 78 now, and I finally know who I am, not someone's wife or mother, but just me. I've learned the importance of saying no. It allows me the freedom to say yes to myself. But here's the heartbreaking part. I wasted so much time being who I thought I should be for others. 60 years of putting myself last, shrinking myself to make room for everyone else in my life. And I can never get those years back, no matter how much I wish I had lived differently. So let me tell you what I wish someone had told me when I was younger and thought time was endless. You are not selfish for having dreams or wanting something more for yourself in this one life. You think you have all the time in the world, but life keeps moving while you keep waiting. There is always another reason to wait, another person who needs you, another obligation. And before you know it, you wake up old and realize you never truly lived for yourself. Don't make my mistake. Don't wait for permission to live your own life, because it will not come. Your life is not a practice run. This is it. This is the only one you get, and time does not wait. If this resonates with you, remember this. The permission is granted. Now go live. If this video helped you, subscribe now for powerful content that sharpens your mindset and changes your future.